Hey, what's going on, guys? PGNs here. In this video we're gonna finally make use of our passed and isolated pawn array pawn masks to give either bonus or penalty to the corresponding pawns. So let's find our evaluation section here, and I just want to paste some constant variables. So this array is needed in order to get rank, well, not get, better say, like extract rank from a square, and obviously it is indexed by the square. So let's say we have the e4, we'll have the rank of 3. Well, actually this is kind of the fourth rank, but an idea of getting this in the indices is the following. So here we have this passed pawn bonus, and we need to use this array in order to calculate the exact index to reference this array. And well, let's say if we have the passed pawn on e4, then it would get the bonus of 20. If this would be on e5, it would get a bonus of 35, and so on. So I hope this is quite pretty clear. So here we have double pawns penalty. Okay, and here I have an isolated pawn penalty. These values, I've been testing these values, but they might be still questionable and probably need some further tuning, and I would say even more than when we'll have the bunch of features within the evaluation function. They might need even more tuning. So just to give you an idea that even though we have these values, they are still not kind of the very end result. So these values might get changed. They seems to be working pretty not that bad so far, but again, like, I'm not really sure. And this array is taken from the BLITZ chess engine because well, I think this is quite pretty okay. If not, I will be changing this as well, but at the moment it's just literally enough. So here we have the passed pawn bonus, like this. Okay, so let's actually try to compile and run the code and go for implementation of these penalties and bonuses. So I want to make debug, and if it compiles, I want to run the BBC binary executable. Okay, so this is not that bad. Okay, so let's now grab the position, this one, empty position, and I wanna go here, so we don't need this stuff anymore. Okay, don't need this stuff as well. And instead of searching the position, I just want to print the score of the current position. So the score, and calling the evaluate position here. And instead of this repetitions, just want to grab this. I just want to take this empty board, empty FEN, and we'll adjust this just right in a moment. The only thing a bit confusing me is why does it still. Okay, so now it seems to be working. Okay, so also I don't really want this stuff getting printed, so let me find this mask, let's say past mask or something. Okay, so just to avoid printing this masks, let's get rid of the corresponding code. Okay, perfect. And from now on we can already set up our position. So I want to give a position with the double pawns like this and like this respectively. So we have a pawn followed by the 7 empty squares. White to move. Okay, let's have a look. So by default it should be 0. Okay, so it seems like an equal position, and now we would be adding these penalties for double pawns to both black and white pawns. So let's go for this. I want to find the pawn, and here we'll add a couple of lines. So here I just can say this is the positional score, and now we'll have the double pawn penalty. Now in order to actually print this, in order to calculate this penalty, we need to bitwise AND our file rank that corresponds to the current square with white pawns. So let's actually try to print the bitboard first. So if we just print the bitboard, and here I want to say bitboards indexed by the white pawn, because we're dealing with white pawns, and I want to bitwise AND this, bitwise AND with file masks that we've initialized in the previous video, indexed by the square. So let's have a look what we'll have in return. So you see, like after this bitwise ending, we have this kind of two pawns. So what I want to say here, guys, that if, well, let's say that we don't really have these double pawns, but instead we have this single pawn, right? In this case, there would be the only bit, and one bit is just fine. But in the case if we have more than one bit, in this case we actually need to give a penalty. And if we have 2 bits, we give a penalty for that. If we have 3 bits, that's even worse, because triple pawns is absolute disaster. So that's kind of the idea. So now we'll add a condition to match the situation when we have more than one pawn here. And in order to achieve this, we can do a simple trick. So we can use our count bits function in order to find how many pawns actually available there. So let's say count bits, and we'll probably create the variable double pawns equals to this count bits, like this. And here I just want to ask, well, let's print this double pawns. So here decimal and double pawns. So it should print 2. It prints 1, yeah, because it's just 1 here, and the minus 100 is because we got rid of 1 pawn. So this is the material imbalance. And now we need the condition. So only let's say on double pawns, triple, etc. So more than 1 pawn, basically. So this is the condition. So if double pawns greater than 1, in this case we would be doing our penalty logic. So now we should be printing this double pawns, because this is just 1 pawn, which is fine. And if we just put this another pawn back, then it should now print the appropriate. So it says like this double pawn is equal to 2, which is quite pretty predictable. So he prints this for both pawns, and this is also good because well, we would be given penalties to both of our pawns, and that's why I have only minus 10 there, not the greater number, because how many the greater number of pawns we would be having, the greater penalty would be adjusted at the very end. So let's go back here, and I just want to say simply, so here I say score, and it would be plus equals. So we always doing plus equals for white pieces and minus equals for black pieces, and the value for our penalty is negative. So this is negative. So we want to multiply the number of our pawns by the double pawns penalty. So I just want to say double pawns multiplied by double pawns penalty. That's it. And now it should give a score with regards to this penalty. So let's have a look. Should be 40, I guess. Yeah, minus 40. So this is minus 40 because we have 2 pawns, and for every so we have two for one pawn and 2 for another pawn. Maybe this sort of a calculation is not really that great or precise or something, but I'm using this, and if there are any issues with this method, please let me know in the commentary, so I will be happy to make it some sort of a better way, if any. So but I personally consider that scoring this sort of a pawns with minus 40, which is almost half a pawn, is quite pretty reasonable. It's quite pretty reasonable evaluation, because it's almost like you have lost the half of your pawn. Both pawns are actually weak. That's it. So if we just add another one, the number would be even greater. But here it also has some value for the positional score. So I'm not going to be putting pawn here, but instead I would have putting this right over in here. But first, let's actually do the same for the opponent. So really need to be careful with this adjustment. So I just grab the entire stuff here, and here we have positional score, and then we have all the other stuff. So double pawns. So now we want to use black pawns, and bitwise end with this foul masks, and exactly the same. So we have this greater than 1, but in this case we want to say minus equals, and now the score should be 0 again. Excuse me. Oh, it just seems like the double pawns are already cleared. Okay, so in this case I just initialize the double pawns. B square, let's say bonus, and let's say penalties. Okay, and integer double pawn, or double pawns equal to 0. Okay, so now we have this score of 0, which is correct because we have absolutely symmetrical position. And now we just go to the position and try to add say some pawn to another pair of double pawns like this. Well, first let's actually have maybe pawn. So how many? 3 and then 5. So to have the equal material. So just to have the equal material, but yeah, white now is better because of this black's double pawns. So that's the idea. But if we just now make another pair of double pawns, it would get scored accordingly. Well, obviously in the game it won't always mean that our engine would never go for double pawns. It will. An example, if it would like to change a knight for a bishop or similar cases. But anyway, even if he has double pawns, he would be trying to get rid of them as soon as possible, which is quite pretty important. So now we have the score of 0 again, because this is absolutely kind of equal position. So well, I hope this is quite pretty self-explanatory, and now let's go to implementing our isolated pawns. So I will need to adjust the position slightly a bit. So let me just let's have the pawns only on this rank. So let's have 3 pawns, then like this, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So here we have this e pawn is isolated, and now I want to do the same for the black pieces. So 1 2 3 4 1 p 1 pawn. So in this case, so now we again, like we have oh sorry, there is some extra. Hold on a sec. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Oh, it's a bit extra pawn there. Okay, so now we have an equal position, but both sides has kind of isolated pawn. So white has this e pawn isolated, and black has this f pawn being isolated. So now we need to bitwise end our pawn structure for white and for black with the isolated pawn masks in order to find how many pawns are isolated and give them a penalty. So let's go back to the pawns, and well, I would probably like to well, do we need to initialize them to zeros? Probably we don't, because it would at least be equal to 1. So I think we don't need to initialize them. Let me just I won't really check this now without double pawns, but hopefully it would be working. Okay, so double pawns, isolated pawn. Or hold on a sec, I probably don't even need I don't even need that. Yeah, I don't need this. So let's just drop it as this. Okay, sorry guys, just I'm just like a little bit different compared to what I was doing when I was initially writing and debugging this stuff, so hence a slight delays here. Well, let's start with the white pawns, and here isolated pawn penalty. So first we need to distinguish our isolated pawn. So let's say if, and now I want to take, so as far as this is the white pawn, so I want to take bitboards indexed by the white pawn and bitwise ended with isolated masks indexed by the current square. And in this case, let's just try to printf like isolated. And now let's just simply try to see if it's gonna detect the pawn. It should be 1. Okay, and now just to make sure that it might detect several pawns, I just want to try it like this. Doesn't matter regarding the score. It just found 3 isolated pawns. So this is isolated, this one, and this are isolated. Okay, so well, actually, let's try to do the same for. Let's try to do the same for black pieces as well. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So now it should be yeah. Now the position is really mirrored here. Okay, so I found 3 isolated pawns. Good. And now we need, as far as we do, so let's say on isolated pawns, give an isolated pawn penalty. So we say simply like score plus equals and isolated pawn penalty, and this should be minus 30 because we have 3 isolated pawns, and excuse me, undeclared. I don't know, probably, oh, just a typo there, so this should be working. So minus 30 is expected result. Okay, so minus 10 for each pawn. That's the penalty we're gaining for this sort of a structure. Okay, good. And now we need to do the same, but for the black pieces, for the black pawns in particular. So now we need to compare the black pawn and make minus equals isolated pawn penalty, because in this case we're dealing with the black pawn structure, and score should be 0 here. Okay, perfect. So now it seems like that our isolated pawns bonuses are penalties are the same for both sides. This is good, and now let's also try the very last thing, well, at least for this video. I want to make some passed pawns. So let's reset this stuff back, and let's give one pawn would be here, so this would be the white, let's say 4 pawn 3, and one would be here, 4 pawn 3. So just want to have a look at the position, make sure that they both are passed. Oh my god, what have I done? No, it's not done like this. Well, first of all, this one should be here, and secondly, let's make it 5 pawn 2. Okay. Okay, not passed pawns still, so let's make it 3 pawn 4. Now both should be okay, and the score is 0. So white pawn is going upwards and black pawn is going downwards. So now the next trick is to assign this the corresponding value. So let's start with our white pawns here. So this would be called as passed pawn bonus. So in this case we need to match, so we say if, and we need to match the bitboards. Well, let's actually start with white passed masks indexed by the square, and we need to bitwise end this with black pawns, so bitboards and the black pawns. So here let's say passed printf, let's say passed detected. Okay, so if I did everything correctly, this now should detect one pawn for whites. Okay, and let's actually give a couple more pawns, so at the board edges. So let's make it pawn 1, and let's make it 1 and pawn like this. So now it should print this twice. Okay, and okay, hold on a sec. So for some reason the scores are not similar. That's probably happening due to the positional scores. Well, okay, so these pawns are a bit higher compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold on a sec, guys, this is just a bit confusing. Why do we have, can't understand why these pawns are on the 6th rank. Oh, so let's make him actually here. I just want to see, I just want to get the 0 score. Yeah, no, this is good. So this pawn's going upwards, this pawn's going downwards. And now let's get back to our pawns. Isolated, no, here, passed pawns. So Now this is gonna be a little bit tricky. So first, well, I just wanna, first I wanna print the bonus. So to calculate this bonus, this should be best pawn bonus. I'm not sure it's the exact name, and I want to get rank from the current square. Okay, so 35, and this should be the rank like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the index of 4. Let's compare. The index of 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 35, which is exactly what we need here. Perfect. And exactly the same index should be retrieved for black pawns as well, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But in order to obtain that, we'll need another little trick. But first, let me actually get rid of this one for a while. So here we want, let's say, on passed pawn, we want to give passed pawn bonus. Okay, and say score plus equals, and this passed pawn, okay, passed pawn bonus indexed by the get rank indexed by the square. And if I did everything correctly, it should be 35 plus 35, it would be 70. So it should be, well, assuming white to move, should be plus 70 now. If I did everything correctly. Yeah, perfect, this is 70. And now a little bit tricky thing here. So let's do the same for the black pawns at the moment. So like this. Okay, and by now I don't want to do anything with the scores. So would it be bitwise ended with the white pawns this case, and would it be printing for the white pawns? But now the bonus would be different. Won't be 35. It would be bonus of 20, because it's counting from downside, right? So it's not right. So it's counting from here, not from here. So in order to fix this, we need to say mirror score and index this square. And in this case, this should be by 35 each. Okay, perfect. So from now on, we can actually use this score here, and we also need to say score minus equals, and by now the score should be 0 again. Okay, so let's have a look. Yeah, so the score is equal to 0, which most likely means that we did everything correctly. Well, okay guys, so the matter of adding rooks and queens and semi-open files is probably even simpler than what we've done with the passed pawns. But I just don't really want to make this video too long, and also I want to show you an actual game, how BBC would be playing versus TSCP, a very short game by 1 minute in order just to avoid wasting your time. But I didn't actually show you how this was going without this pawns, but probably I just can show you a couple, maybe, yeah, just a couple of games that Jay has sent me. I'm sorry guys, just to give you an idea like how the game looks like without this settings, and then we'll go for we'll compile this version. So I will actually compile this just right now. So I want to make for release, and did it get rid of this debug mode? Hopefully yes. Okay. Okay, so hope this would be working. And now just a very quick example of how it plays without this pawn evaluation stuff. Yeah, this is a good example. Well, let's take this one. So here BBC is playing black versus TSCP, so let's watch from the BBC's perspective here. And I just want to very quickly walk through the game. It's a little bit strange that, hold on a sec, is this the game? Hold on a sec, this game seems to be lost by BBC. This is a bit strange. So yeah, probably, yeah, let me just try to pick up another game that is actually won by BBC. Okay, list games. Hold on a second, just let's run with the scores. Okay, so this one should be okay. Knight f6. Yeah, this one should be. So here is how the game goes. It's not that bad itself, but yeah, it's actually, the pawn structure is quite pretty okay. Well, actually now BBC has this isolated pawn and isolated pawn here, which is not that great, so he has no idea about this at the moment. And even though he would win this game, still, so he has two passed pawns, which is really kind of, which is a real threat here. Well, but hopefully TSCP would first get mated. So again, like TSCP is playing white, BBC is playing black, but this pawn is very dangerous, and the BBC simply doesn't see this pawn. That it doesn't see that this is dangerous pawn here. So still okay, so it's the arena junction here, unfortunately. Probably actually BBC sees the mate in 3. Oh, the idea is very simple. So actually, if this one is queening, then he just takes, and then on whatever move he just mates in this sort of a manner. So that's the game. But again, you saw like this connected passed pawns were really powerful and really dangerous. And in other games, it happens quite often that these pawns are deciding the entire game. So the adjustments that we've made are actually intended to fix this sort of a behavior, even though based on the tournament results, I didn't yet get the better results compared to those that are without this evaluation updates. But I was doing that a little bit different compared to how I made this now in the video. There was probably a bug regarding the double pawns detection, because I was given a penalty in all the cases, even without, even where there were not double pawns. So probably that was not really that great. Well, anyway, now I just want to set up, to make a quick setup here. So let's change the path of this BBC YouTube version. So chess programming source here and evaluate pawns. So are we working? Yeah, with evaluate pawns, good. So let's consider this executable. Well, I hope it is what we need, and let's invite TSCP into the game. Okay. And well, I have no idea which color would be considered by which side, and well, actually, okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm really tempted to see this at the 3-minute blitz instead of 1-minute blitz. So I can't do nothing to this. I'm really tempted to see the game. So regardless of result, I hope to see a bit different game in terms of the pawn structure that we'll have. So I don't promise that BBC will obviously win this game, but what should be happening, it should have at least a better pawn structure at the very end because of those evaluations. So I hold my breath. Now let's have a look. So BBC is playing black. Okay. Okay. Well, not so bad. Not bad so far. So I have no idea. So it's going for a Russian game, and TSCP captures immediately. Well, yeah, in previous games, BBC also played Queen e7 to recapture on e4 later on, probably after d6, and then recapturing on e4 is the plan. Well, not that bad actually. So again, like I saw the similar game, but I'm not sure that this one would be exactly like those that I've seen, because the code is slightly bit different, so the result might be a bit different and the moves might be different. So I'm seeing this game for the first time, just like you guys, because this version wasn't yet tested. Okay, so it's not really that great to have a pawn on c6 because knight has no place to go, and this g5 is a little bit controversial, but we don't really have a king safety here. So I really hope that BBC will go with something like bishop to c6, knight to d7, and castling queenside, because otherwise it's gonna be a real disaster. So let's see what is it supposed to be doing, but probably he will go bishop g7 and then castling kingside. Well, unfortunately he has no idea about the king safety at all at the moment. So the king would leave in the center, which is not really that great. But anyway, yeah, this is the variation where it's not the best ever position for a king, but the game is not yet lost. So I really hope to see something interesting here. Okay, so I believe d5 would be coming soon to strengthen the pawn. BBC has another opinion at this point for some reason. Well, now d5 is no longer that efficient. Well, on the other hand, yeah, actually if we exchange on d5 it might be fine. And the very first important thing to consider, you just know that this isolated pawn, so white now have an isolated pawn. Well, actually black also have an isolated pawn, but I believe that this isolation of the d4 pawn is intentional, and while this pawn is worth compared to this one. Anyway, so I don't really like this king because it's quite pretty unsafe, but as far as we have this f3 square covered, a queen is not actually going there, which is good news generally. So even though the king has stuck in the center, I don't see much issues with its safety at the moment. And if I have a look at the depth, so TSCP goes for depth 5 while BBC goes for depth 10, so it's kind of twice deeper actually, which is not that bad at all. It doesn't obviously mean that BBC won't get mated eventually, which I feel like might be might happen quite pretty soon. And this is really unfortunate idea. So yeah, king safety really sucks in this game, to be honest. And I have no idea what to do with this. Well, actually implement the king safety, that's the best idea probably. Okay, trying to attack the queen, and it doesn't do low in this. Okay, so what's next? So it's the fourth move is forced. Yeah, probably BBC is gonna get mated. Well, not the best not the best game ever. Okay guys, I'm sorry for this, shame. Maybe we'll have a better chance in the next game. I really hope so. So let's give BBC another chance to show some good chess. Yeah, that Russian game was really unfortunate for some reason. And now we have a Sicilian variation. Oh, no, it's not Sicilian, it's English, but this c5 is the Sicilian structure. So what is it gonna be doing? So knight to c6. I just really want to have a game where king would actually castle eventually. That would be a good thing, obviously. And I really hope this is gonna happen in this game in particular. So really hope so. So bishop e7 would be just fantastic. Okay, so just preventing knight going to g5, I guess. I'm not sure if... Oh, it's probably not knight going to g5, but preventing the pinning of the knight, which would be a pain later on. Oh my god. Yeah, this hack attack on king side is something similar to my style of play. Most likely leads to getting mated like in previous game. Okay. I'm a bit confused by the fact that king is not castling for some reason. This seems to be a little bit strange, but maybe at least now it would eventually castles. I really hope to see that. So if it castles now, it would be fantastic. Oh my god, it goes for attack. Yeah, you know, I wanted to make a chess engine that plays in my style of chess, and actually it does really. Okay, finally castles. Oh my god, I can't believe it. So now it would be trying to generate an attack on the king side. Well, actually it already does this. Okay, not exchanging on f3 is good idea, is good thing. Now he obviously needs to take this knight to double the pawns, just perfect. So, well, at least we can see that our doubling of our pawns is working nicely, so we'll just double those pawns. Now knight would most likely go to, oh, I thought it would go to e7. I'm not sure. Ah, he just trying to hit the bishop and win the queen. Well, not that bad. Okay, so opening the c file. If only rook could know that semi-opens and open files are good, it would probably go there, but not in this time. Not this time. Okay, now this move by white seems to be absolutely ridiculous, because what the hell this queen is doing on d1? It's really strange. Okay, so now a6, I guess. Whoa. This is interesting move, d7. Okay, is it gonna capture now? No, it doesn't capture. Oh, so it just tries to drop the knight back. Try to gain some positional advantage. Well, maybe a5 now. Still not a5. Well, now this is getting really interesting. Okay, is it gonna take by the bishop? Well, I would have taken by the bishop, definitely, because this pawn is now passed, which is really bad thing. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit it's a little bit unfortunate when after this evaluation improvements, engine actually starts playing worse compared to how it was playing before. I don't really want to say that it is playing worse. It needs some more tests to answer this question actually. But at the moment, I have such a feeling, to be honest. That might be the matter of tuning the evaluation, like bonuses and penalties at some point. There might be many reasons actually, and it's really hard to say what exactly is going wrong. But at very least, TSCP doesn't have a passed pawn here on a7 how he usually used to have. Well, this pawn is a little bit dangerous, and it's a bit strange to me why BBC considered this situation to occur. This is all a bit strange to me. Well, but anyway, he has some attacking potential on the king side, which is good. He has a bishop pair, which is also good. And I don't know, maybe something would be... I really hope that it would actually win this game. The time is about equal. The depth is still greater compared to TSCP's depth, which is also good. So let's have a look. Okay, it's not taken, so probably... Okay, so this is the wise move in order to avoid the queen getting trapped. And now it would be nice to put a queen on d5 and mate on g2. This would be a very good idea, just not to blunder the rook. Okay, so a1 is threatening here. Okay, I feel like it's gonna be mate soon. I really hope so. Okay, now this pawn is vulnerable. And okay. I'm really afraid for this pawn. I don't really want to have it queening ever. Oh my god. This is really dangerous. So this pawn is extremely dangerous. I have no idea how did BBC actually consider this pawn. This is really weird and strange. So I don't really want to see it's losing this game, please. So many work, and eventually, okay, now he's worse. Now he's definitely worse. Okay, and probably nothing really to be done here. Okay, finally takes the pawn. Oh, but with the cost of the rook. Well, this is really weird. Okay, just stop this guy. Sorry, but he's gonna lose, and I can't really watch this. I'm sorry. Again, like, I don't know. So, two unfortunate games. If the third game would be unfortunate, this most likely would mean that I've done something horribly wrong. Okay, so Queen's Gambit declined. Sorry, Queen's Gambit accepted. So maybe at least this position. So I'm sorry, guys. I just really want to see at least one win. Okay, because BBC had lots of win versus TSCP in this Queen's Gambit accepted variation. Maybe at least now it would make some sense. So, okay, so most likely c6 now. Okay, then probably bishop c7, then e6, and then we'll see. So it was playing bishop b7 in the previous games. Whoa, this is something new. This is interesting. It was never playing a5 before. This is really interesting. Continuation here. A5 wasn't played before here. I'm tempted to see the continuation. So is it gonna play? Okay. So the knight is going somewhere. And did TSCP just sacrifice a piece? Hold on a sec. Oh, that was probably some mating disaster with taking on f7, and then knight goes to g5, and then queen goes to f3 or h5, and probably with some mating threats. Okay. Yeah, BBC is disappointing me definitely. So it's really weird, and it's hard to say why this is happening actually. Okay, now he creates another dangerous pawn here. Well, most likely this pawn would get captured, I hope. Well, at least, okay, he doesn't even play the c4, c5 to c4. Okay, well, developer knight, do something. Oh my god. Okay, he tries to catch this pawn, but queen d3, and then what? Yeah, okay, knight g8 to f6 in my dreams. Oh, okay, he just wants to get the material. I get his intent. Okay, so bishop takes. Oh my god, white knight takes. What are you doing, man? So weird. Why to take with the knight? Why to take with the knight? This is so weird. Should have taken with the bishop and then exchange. That's probably because he wants to get this pawn. Okay, did he just win another pawn? This is interesting. Okay, so, oh my god, what are you doing? Bishop e7 and castling. Yeah, this is disappointing me really. Okay, so I really need to work on evaluation first to make sure and test the games first. So another idea that I was doing actually, I was increasing some scores for bishops to gain a better score on. Oh my god, it's gonna get mated now with this. Oh, so I was trying to increase the score for squares b4 and g4, and on the contrary for the black pieces respectively. And that definitely scored better compared to this crap, I must say. So what about the material? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's equal on material, and white has an isolated pawn. Okay. Okay, 2 isolated pawns, but now they are passed pawns at the same time. Now I don't really like this. Yeah, this is very unfortunate video, guys. I'm sorry for this. So I just thought that without adjusting the bishop scores, it might be better compared to doing that, but I was horribly wrong with that assumption. So yeah, BBC is losing dramatically. Okay, probably there was some horrible tactics. Well, okay, guys, I'm sorry. I just can't watch. I just can't watch this anymore. So, well, it's actually time to stop here. But yeah, just one last thing, because I just can't leave it like this. Leave a video in such a horrible state. So I want to search for bishop scores. And I want to adjust this ones to 20s, so it would be beating the knights if possible. And let's try to compile and run this again, and hopefully we'll see some different games. Okay, I want to show you at least one game where BBC is winning TSCP, because it was doing this so many times. It won 7 points for BBC and 5 points for TSCP when there was no evaluation at all. And I had a match of 8 games, which was 4 points for TSCP and 4 for BBC, with almost like this evaluation, with the evaluation almost like this. But it seems to me that there was a bug, because I was probably calculating, oh my god, what am I doing? Because probably I was calculating the double pawns in the wrong manner. Anyway, the idea of using the bitwise operations in order to now BBC is playing white, so I have some chances. So the idea of bitwise ending this stuff is quite pretty similar. To detect those pawns. Oh my god, is it gonna play real pass? It wasn't before ever. Is it going to play real pass? No, it doesn't. Okay. 4 knights variation. This is something like a Scotch game. Okay. Well, not that bad position so far. I really hope to see white castling in the early stage of the opening, otherwise I would be really disappointed. I hope to see the move bishop c1 to d2 to avoid double pawns, only in my dreams. Okay, well, probably BBC consider this because he evaluates bishops over the knights, and he's happy to have double pawns, but to have a bishop pair at the very end. So this is quite pretty predictable. I don't know, now I would go bishop c4. Oh my god, he's playing e5. Well, there is an e5 in the theoretical variation at some point, but what is it going to do now? Oh my god, what is he doing? Oh, just don't tell me you're gonna castle queenside, if you're gonna castle ever. Okay. Yeah, probably bishop b2. Well, most likely he castles queenside. If he doesn't do this now, I don't oh man, no. What are you doing? I wanted my engine to play my style of chess, but not that dumb stuff. Okay, I can't believe he castled eventually. Oh my god, this is so cool. Well, now he can't do anything with the knight. Well, actually the position looks like something theoretical, like we have in the Scotch game. Well, there are variations with the bishop on a6. Yeah, but this is so weird. Okay, bishop a1. Oh my god. Yeah, this is weird. So most likely would get mated now on b file. As a human, I would start the attack immediately. Now losing a pawn. I don't know, probably I made some horrible mistake in the evaluation, I have no idea, so needs check, but now it seems like it's losing every single game. This is so unfortunate. Well, okay guys, at least there would be something to compare the further results with. At least like this. Hold on a sec. Did he just... Okay, yeah, I thought BBC is winning a knight, but not that fast really. So maybe at least he wins a pawn. Okay. Bishop d4. Nope. Too easy. I'll go bishop d4. Okay, rook d7. Okay. At least one decent move for the entire game. Okay, rook. What are you doing, man? And why are you doing this? Oh, he takes another pawn. Well, not that bad, but he just loses a pawn as well. And also, hold on a sec. Whoa, no, this is getting really interesting. So, well, it's actually the exchange, and he can't take the bishop because it would get mated on the 8th rank. Whoa, now this is really interesting. Okay, so most likely he's going to win this game. Most likely. So takes on f7. Nope. Come on, why not to take on f7? Well, at least the pawn structure seems to be quite pretty nice here. Just to give an idea that what we did actually had some sense. Okay, queen c2. No, queen e3. Yeah, in the previously I was guessing the moves of BBC. Now I really can't do that for some reason. Okay, just gives the pawns away. Okay. So it seems to be like a mate soon. Okay, mate now. Why didn't he take? Okay, he can take now. Okay, and just winning the rook. And hopefully crushing. Well, so this bishop scores is really worth thin. So now I'm even tempted to see some other. So how it's going to be playing with the black pieces. Okay. But BBC is still playing whites. Okay, so let's... Sorry guys, for this video is going too long, but I'm really tempted myself to know, like... does this bishop scores, as I was testing them before, actually make some sort of a sense or not? I really hope they do. Okay, so I just want to make TSCP playing whites. So apply. Just okay, and now let's invite BBC. By the way, guys, if somebody knows how to change the playing site for an engine, please let me know, because the way I'm doing this is really weird, and I have no idea like what's the right way of doing this. So okay, and oh my god, even still he wants to play white with BBC. This is so annoying. I have no idea how to. So if I just change them by places, but it doesn't help in many cases. In most cases it doesn't help. Okay, what to do? How can I... Okay, finally TSCP. Okay, finally. Okay, so the same Queen's Gambit accepted, but with a slightly different bishop scores. So I really hope to see a bit different game. So things like pinning bishop on, like playing bishop c8 to bishop c8 to g4, something like that, because these squares are now scored of 20 instead of being scored 0. So, well, most likely he would go for his casual case, like bishop to b7. Well, again a5. This a5 is so strange. I mean, it just leads to losing a pawn. So why is he playing this? Why is he playing this? And another thing that annoys me so much is that BBC has stopped castling in the early stages of the game, because before all this evaluation options it was actually, so it seems like the same variation, so most likely it would end up mating just like it was before. So just lost a pawn for nothing basically. Well, maybe at least it would just... Oh my god, what are you doing? Now it goes for the same weird game. Okay guys, so I won't be wasting your time anymore, because it seems like the game is absolutely the same regardless of the scores that I've fixed. So I will double triple check the code. So it seems like the way how I was calculating the, just to give you an idea, so bishop, nope, how I was calculating the double pawns in the previous version, I wasn't actually keeping track of this variable. Instead, I was just multiplying this bits by the double pawn penalty. So without this condition, actually, that was what I was doing, and that seems to be playing much stronger chess compared to this crap that we've seen now. So it's a little bit hard to know whether this is the way to go or not. But anyway, it needs some tests. So I will try to play around with this evaluation features and run a couple of tournaments to gain some decent results. Probably even try to play versus the previous versions to make sure that how normal people basically do, just to make sure that this evaluation stuff I'm adding actually helps to outplay the previous version on the same engine. So that's kind of the plan. And as soon as I'll get some decent results, I'll get back to you guys. Now, I'm sorry, I'm so depressed because so many work and it really sucks at the moment. But anyway, we just started, so I really hope to make it playing much better, because without all this evaluation stuff, it was playing much stronger, and I have no idea why this is happening. So if any ideas, like maybe I did something horribly wrong, please let me know in the commentaries. So I hope to see you in the next videos and within this series. Until that time, and take care.